Hey there. So I'm going through my Isis Oracle cards and I'm making sure that I've done all of them because I got a new deck coming and I discovered that I was missing two. So I am filming these for bonus material for a day that maybe I'm having a hard time and I don't want to film, or I just want to give you a little bit of an extra woohoo. So the one we're going to go over first is the Lunar Queen, she of the Celestial Crescent. Isn't that beautiful? The Lunar Queen. There is a deep feminine wisdom that recognizes the importance of cycles of rest and the replenishment as essential balancing to our actions of power and demonstration. You are asked to allow this replenishment for yourself now, trusting that you are in a cycle of creation that is about to shift into a new phase. Release and enjoy the process without having to control or force it. Isn't that beautiful? I feel like I am missing something. Give me a second here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Isis is the Lunar Queen, and she understands the cycles of creative power and flow. Sometimes it can be hard to let go of desire to force, control, and making things happen, to exert might and willpower to bring what you wish for into being by sheer determination and exertion and force. Yet the vast creative power of the feminine principle is in honoring and flowing with cycles of activity and rest, of releasing force and surrendering to the perfection of what has happened right now. Really realizing that this actually brings us divine manifestation and creation more effortlessly and graciously to greater effect. The celestial crescent moon is in her changing form. This oracle comes to you at a time when you're shifting from one phase of your spiritual creative journey into a new phase. This is a time to pay deep attention to the messages of your body and allow them to guide you. The Lunar Queen wants you to pay attention. These cards will help you connect your inner wisdom. The quiet times are dark moon energies, the times that you will sense your inner wisdom. And the other times when you feel your inner oven timer is rung, these are full moon energies. Your body will help you know where you are at and what you need. The flow between the dark and the full moon and all phases in between is constant. And allowing that flow even several times in a day or an hour will maximize your creativity and allow your life to manifest creative projects after creative project, should you choose. There is a reminder that feminine wisdom is not accepted by Western culture, and it's distorted. The Lunar Queen is radical. You will need to really believe in your own wisdom and give yourself great support and trust your own body's wisdom to operate in a more intuitive, flexible, responsive, and feminine way. The oracle tells you that Lady Isis and the spiritual guidance that cares for you completely encourages and supports you in being strong and giving yourself absolute permission to rest when needed, to honor your creative cycles for great productivity and quality. I think one of the big things about this card that I like is that it really reinforces the reminder that women have two rhythm cycles. We have our circadian rhythm, just like guys do, like day, night, right? But we also have a feminine cycle. It goes with the days of the month, your hormones. It cycles through. And that secondary rhythm affects everything. It affects your diet, your weight, your exercise, your mental capacity. It affects your energy levels. It affects everything. And our Western culture doesn't honor that. It basically says for a woman to be successful, you have to ignore your feminine rhythms and you have to maintain your energy in a masculine one rhythm cycle. It is so detrimental to women's mental health, their physical health. You know, we have now multiple generations of women in this industrial society that have finally come into their own in some ways in a capitalistic society of production and accomplishment and recognition. And even though women are still not paid equal in many ways and in many industries, there is still very much this expectation that if you want to be a successful professional woman, you have to do it in a corporate guideline run by men. And that is wrong. That is extremely detrimental to women's health, women's mental health, families. If a woman wants to be successful, she basically either doesn't have children or she waits till her rhythms are almost about to change in menopause before she has children. And then she's held back in the workforce. She's held back in recognition in a patriarchal world because she's gone and had children. She's done the expected thing. And she is supposed to juggle having children, being a primary caregiver in a masculine world. And if her husband chooses to stay at home, he's demasculated for making that choice. There's so much wrong with how our society looks at how women should be, where their place is, what their expectations are. And there is not a lot of grace given to a woman who needs to pay attention to her cycles more, who needs to honor her genetic DNA, her coding. We are extraordinarily strong creatures, and our sex is in many ways so much more robust in some ways than a masculine presentation. But that energy has to be honored, both sides of the fence. The masculine male body versus the female body has different rhythms. And if you are in that place where you are flux and you have this whole different identity, your rhythms are trying to come into play with all of that. So learning to honor the feminine rhythms, those secondary rhythms that are in all of the feminine presentations, there is a rhythm to that, and learning to honor that is really important. I live in a female body, and I have many, many strong masculine traits that have been misinterpreted for a very long time because I recognize and honor both rhythms in my body, and I allow both of them to present as they need to present. And I have swum upstream in the tides of things with those presentations. In so many ways, the idea of being non-binary makes so much sense in the universal idea of balancing the masculine and feminine in the body and allowing those who want to present 100% feminine or 100% male or balance the two between or completely shift that energy is completely valid. And Isis and the Lunar Queen really talk about honoring what's in your bodies. So I talk about the feminine side and the rhythms with that, but there is a masculine side and there are rhythms within the masculine body too. So learning how to honor the rhythms of your physical body in day-to-day life, our Western culture is very patriarchal and does not recognize the feminine. So the need to push that feminine forward is really important because it will, in the ideal, it will help learn to balance everyone out. I am acutely aware of the moons. Though since I have gone past menopause, I will say that my moon recognition has been different. And it's fascinating how that difference has manifested. And I am so excited to see what that looks like as I move forward in this physical body. What is this new transformation? I can say that for a while it was pretty awful and I didn't enjoy it. But there is a sense now that this is a newness. This is a different kind of energy. And I am so excited to explore what that energy is and what does that cycle look like. because it's still a cyclical cycle, but it isn't necessarily as fast as the moon's, and my relationship to the moon cycles have changed. Anyway, so I hope you all have a beautiful day. There's no tarot for today because this is a supplemental. So enjoy the Lunar Queen. Blessed be, and I'll see you in prayer.